Good evening and welcome to the first day in the month of January 2025. Welcome to Atlantic Television Network. Sports Extraordinary is the program. Of course, we have a lot for you this evening. Ekpo Temple is my name, and on today's edition of the show is the New Year edition, and it promises to be mind-blowing here. Guess what? We'll have a chat with the chairman of the Nigerian Premier Football League, Honorable Benga Elegbeleye, live with us on the show. Talk about the Nigerian Premier Football League 2024-2025 season and what next as we discuss further, and everything about Nigerian football here on today's edition of the show. If you're just joining us, you're welcome, and we'll go on a short break now. When we come back, we'll have it all covered for you. All right, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Sports Extraordinary on Atlantic Television Network. It's the New Year edition, and guess who we have live in the studio via the Zoom platform to discuss football matters as it concerns the Nigeria Premier Football League. We have the chairman of the Nigeria Premier Football League board, Honorable Benga Elegbeleye. Honorable, good evening and welcome to Atlantic Television Network. Honorable, can you get me?
But I'm getting you live. Maybe you don't have a problem. I can get you. I'm seeing you. I'm hearing you.
Okay. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Thank you very much.
I'm sure you are enjoying or basking in the euphoria of the new year. How's it been for you today, sir?
Well, it's nice. The new year just like any bad day to me. New Year day is like any bad day. All we need to just thank God for seeing another year. So, to me, nothing special. Just like every other day.
So let's start with how far the league has fared. How would you describe the responsibility that comes with managing the Nigeria Premier Football League since your emergence as the chairman of the board, from category committee now to the substantive chairman of the board?
I would say it's just like managing an average human being in Nigeria. You know, you want to manage human beings, they should be prepared to face a lot of challenges, because sometimes you have programs, those involved may not want to align with that program, probably for some personal reasons, but what you consider to be germane and probably reason to grow the league, some may not align with it. Then again, it's balance on managing human being. You face challenges. You need to sometimes, adopt the principle of give and take. Sometimes you may not have your way all the time. But as an administrator, you must have your way most of the time, since you are working for the progress of the system. Some people naturally will not want to be in tune with what they are doing. Not because they are doing badly, but success is even the problem to some people. They are doing something and you're successful, and you are doing it successfully. Some, they are going to see it as a challenge to them to not to give you room to actualize that dream of promoting the system you are ready. So as an administrator, you must be ready to do battle with all shades of character. In this system, just like every other facets of life, you have the good, you have the bad, you have the ugly. But I can tell you that in the Nigerian football league today, the managers and those in the industry, I would say we have more of the good than the bad. That's the truth. We have more of the good people now than the bad. So, trying to us in the system, we want to promote the system, we want to make the system work. Naturally, board members are very happy to have very good quality people working in the board. I mean, as members of the board, we're working together. Again, yeah, we have quality club managers too. So now, I think everybody is on the same page in moving the league forward. That's what I would say.
And so let's take a look at some of the things you said. Let's look at the key indices of your policies. There are key indicators to say, okay, we are successful, so far since we started. So what are the key objectives when you took over from catechol to substantive chairman? Are there key indices that we can look back to say, okay, in this area, in this area, in this area, we have gotten it? For example, in the area of security and the less violence in stadiums or stadia, I think we have done massively. So what are the key objectives or key indicators from your angle that you can look back and say, okay, when we started, these things were not there, but we have been able to institute those things and they're functional now?
Well, you mentioned security. Let me start from that. You know, if you want to go and watch, you want to go to the stadium now, you should feel secured. You should know that you can go there and watch matches, violent-free environment. Go there without being molested. Go there, enjoy the game, then come back. You can go to go with your friends. You can go with your children. Everybody is now free. And the reason I would say, if you don't adopt some measures, certainly some things will not work. The issue of point deduction, we introduce it because there's no how you find a club for beating or harassing match officials. They will pay the fine, all right, as soon as they get the result they want. Next time again, they will still harass match officials in that same stadium, and they will still do the same thing. So what is more important, I'm going to say, is that we should, we adopted that system of making sure that we deduct 3 points if you harass match officials, and that has been working for us, because 3 points means a lot to some clubs. When you deduct 3 points from your team, your points you have gathered so far, that 3 points can make you go on relegation. Same 3 points can make you win the league. So now a situation we have now is that we have supporters of clubs now policing the stadium to make sure that they don't harass officials and away teams, so that they will not lose valuable points as a result of a punishment. for pitch invasion, for being violent and for violent conduct. That was getting it right. Then again, let me talk about referees. So far, so good. We have been able to pay all our referees even before they go to officiate. We pay them. Unlike when referees claim they were being owed 3 football seasons without being paid. The way I do that, if you are not being paid for 3 months, you must stop working. But working for 3 years, if you are not being paid, means somehow, something is wrong somewhere. And that's what was affecting the system. Then I would say. Then again, there are other things that we see that are good points. And there are many challenges equally too. Because now, we've been having, before we don't have crowds going to the stadium. Now the problem we're having now is how do we manage the crowds? Area where we're witnessing overcrowding. People coming more than the normal seats available in the stadium. So that's the challenge we're facing now.
Let's talk about the fact that some key stakeholders, they've given you pat on the back, saying that they've seen visible changes that you have brought to the league in conjunction with your board. Now, the big thing is one thing to formulate policies, is another to implement these policies. So we are asking, how do you manage to implement these policies in looking at the Nigerian context? Because like you said, sometimes we have a different breed of people here, you know. So how do you manage to implement some of these policies, like deducting points? Is it really true that points are deducted? Is it really true that when you place hammer on club to pay fine, they truly pay these fines? So that's one area we need to be clarified.
All right, thank you. When we say point deduction, I can give you examples. We have been deducting points. We started with even Manchester United 3 points. Remo United, the Remo Stars 3 points. That was 2 seasons ago. We did the same thing to Bella United, same to Plateau United. Now it's been consistent. We did the same to Wiki Tourists. So we're consistent with that. If we violate rules, we do that. Then in terms of paying penalties, we did that from the start, but we have corporate some sponsors like money from StarTimes are prepared coming to the league. If we are owing, we deduct from source such fines. And again, let me tell you, in terms of implementation, if we have laws or rules and you don't implement, the most important thing is enforcement. Laws without enforcement leads, so we enforce, and we are very serious about it.
Okay. Another area we need to look at now is you talked about sponsorship, and laypersons are really interested in the area of sponsorship. How far we are fed, you know, how far the clubs are also partnering with you, you know, because sponsorship sometimes can be a very good source of motivation for clubs. So can you take us through how many sponsors do we have now in the league? Do we have a title sponsor? All those areas also will need to be clarified.
Yet, we don't have a title sponsor yet. We don't have a title sponsor. But what we have now, we have a broadcast partner, which is StarTimes. Then we have Propel, which is more again of a broadcast partner. Because Propel, they show what we call OTT. You can watch our Premier League on your smartphone anywhere in the world now. Maybe like 1 or 2 countries, you can watch matches, like 6 matches live in an average match day. Just download the NPFL live. You can watch it from your smartphone. Then we have the StarTimes that they are showing us the direct to home, we call it DTH, direct to home. You can stay in your house and watch it live on television. They are showing 4 matches live, StarTimes. Propel 6 now live. So, an average week you have 10 match days, and those 10 matches are usually live, either on TV or on television at home. On your smartphone. Then again, the money from that, when we signed StarTimes, it was done in Abuja at the Sheraton Hotel, and we have pressmen, everybody there, and I was very happy that day that the pressmen there said, look, this is a new innovation where the league announced the amount of money coming from this particular engagement with this particular company. StarTimes paid $1,060,000,000. That is 1 billion 1.06, 1.06 billion, all right, per season to the system. And this, the clubs takes about 60% of it. That is it. Then the league 10%. I repeat, club 60%, league 10%, then NFF 5%, then the rest for corporate partners. For instance, let me give you the job of GTI with us. GTI, they are the one paying all the money. GTI is not the financial, they are not like sponsors. They are partners. That's the GTI role. GTI pay for the referees, they pay for all the staff salaries they pay, everything that has to do with the accommodation of referees, where they go and they're feeding, GTI paid. And indeed, GTI take 5%. If you get sponsored, they remove 5%. So that is the agreement. So that we will not say we don't pay referees because we don't have money to pay referees. When GTI came to join us, we insist that, look, we want you with us, but you must be able to pay our referees. In a season, for instance, referee money alone can be more than 500 million. So if you have 1 billion from StarTimes, and StarTimes pay twice, this season now, they pay half of the 1.06 billion. The next half, they will pay the remaining. That means 5% of what they pay is what GTI can get. All right? If they pay 500 million, 5% of 500, 10% of 500 million is 50 million. That means GTI is entitled to something less than, I think their money is 4%, something less than 25 million. So okay, you'll be wondering why they will recoup such investment after spending so much in supporting the league. Then the clubs and the anything comes to the clubs, it is strictly to the account. Doesn't come to us. The referee money doesn't come to us. It goes straight to the referees themselves. So we don't warehouse money in the Nigerian paper football league.
That's good to know. Yeah. That's very sincere of you.
Yes,
Mr. Chair.
yes. And let me go further again. When GTI join us, the cumulative money for payment of referee enrollment for that season, they say, okay, we should bring account they want to credit us after a week. We send them referees accounts. Don't credit us, credit them. They are the one that own the money. So that we don't have referee money in the NPFL account. Something happened, you spend part of that money. Again, that means we won't be able to pay referee. So we are not interested in warehousing money. Pay directly to referees. Then the staff, pay the staff their monthly salary. That is what we have succeeded in doing. We don't owe staff salary. We don't owe any referee. And where referees go, accommodation and feeding, GTIT, they're still responsible for it.
That's quite interesting. Yeah, just give me a minute. Yeah. Let me introduce my colleague in the studio who is also here with us. Emmanuel Kingsley, I'm sure you are enjoying the New Year Eve, and you've been listening to the chairman. A very rare, big fish, rare to get to see him live with us. But it's not very evident that when people talk about, he said there's no money with them, that they don't have the money. Money goes directly, which is very lovely. Yeah. Well, what's your take on some of the things he said so far?
I think for me, when you take a look at the sponsorship, I think they've done well, at least in trying to get StarTimes, propel as well, to be part of the league. And I've been so impressed, with that particular one. I think for that, that has also brought some amount of money to the league, and they've been able to at least to use that money to do one or two things that have also helped the growth of the league at this point in time. In fact, you can even see it in the prize money. At least in the space of 2 seasons now, we've seen increments in terms of the prize money of the league. I think for me, it's been an impressive, one so far. In terms of officiating, I think we've seen, a little bit of level of officiating. We'll now see teams, going away from home to pick points, fairly, then come back and as well compete, in a very, very fantastic fashion. The referees as well, they've also done their best, so far in the couple of games, we've seen so far this season. I think probably could also be as a result of the level of training they might have gotten, and as well the remuneration that they've been given so far, just like Benga Elegbele mentioned. I think all of this being put in place actually kept the league, smooth this time around.
Achia, back to you now. From what my colleague just said, it reminds me, and I want to ask. We have seen.
Temple, don't be. Let
Okay.
me just get because we just have to talk on that streaming platform.
Yeah, the prepare.
Yeah, I don't know, Mr. Chairman. I don't know if you are aware that some MPFL fans, some Nigerian Premier Football League fans, there have been some complaint that they find it difficult, to access some games due to, poor network. I don't know if you are aware.
Sure, I'm aware. We have network challenges in practically almost 60% of the stadia where we play matches there. But unfortunately, most of these things, it's not something you can correct overnight. But so far, so good. We've been able to improve in terms of getting them to align with the MTN. So that where you have an MTN network, then the streaming will work well. So that is what they themselves, prepared themselves, approached MTN, and they did integration. I think gradually now the system is improving.
Let's talk about this season, the ongoing season. That it's break time now, and so every club will have time to really, fine tune, prepare for the transfer, the mid-season transfer, and a lot. But before we talk about how will you rate the performance? A lot of people have credited their away goals, their away results, as for them one of the best moments in the league this season. But let's hear from you. What are the key areas you think that, okay, apart from the security, like the other day I watched Economy Warriors, what transpired, there in Maiduguri, fantastic. That's what the kind of football we want to see everywhere, crowded. But generally, how will you rate the ongoing season?
Well, I would say so far so good. When you mentioned winning matches away, is a mark of transparency, all right, and improvement in officiating, because most teams always win at home at all cost in the past. But now what we see now is that teams are going to play anywhere and win without fear. So the new mantra now is play well and win well. If you don't play well, you lose, even at home. So teams stay at home. The last match, Rivers United against Plateau United in Port Harcourt, it wasn't easy for Rivers. They were almost losing until the last, towards the end, when they were able to manage to score the goal to equalize. Imagine 3SC Badon coming to the Cathedral and defeat Rangers of Enugu right at home there, about a week ago. So it's easy for clubs to go to anywhere now. Lemon Stars went straight to Katsina to pick a point, to pick 3 points. So it's easy. If you play well anywhere in the country, you win. So there is no fear of being molested, because now fans know that 3 points is difficult to get, so they may lose it. And again, I would say this current season, we try to again let you know that we introduced the youth league last season, which we pick the best of them now. We are preparing to give them a foreign tour during this season's break. And the reason why we are doing this, first, we discovered that most of the teams, with the exception of Raymond Stars and perhaps 1 or 2 other teams that have youth teams, the rest don't take it serious. So we now insisted that before you can be registered for the season, you must submit the list of your own feeder teams. We did this last season and it worked. Practically all the teams submitted names. Now, we now arrange what we call a youth league, that each team must have to pay. We now put them in 5 different zones. And in those zones, the champion of each zone, which we are making 5 teams, came to Benin to play what we call the Super 5. So Rivers feeder team won that tournament, and we picked the best of the players from different clubs. We now call them the best 22 of the youth league. Don't be surprised now that Rivers United have 4 of such young players in their feeder team now play the senior team. Plateau United has 3 of them. Lemon Stars has. 3SC has shooting star. I mean, sunshine stars as two of them. So current players too have. So now they discover that they even have younger players in their kitchen that they don't know are those as talented until we expose them. So it's a win-win for the league. These youngsters will form the bedrock of future Super Eagles.
Lovely to know. Before I bring my colleague to ask you, let me ask two pertinent questions. And these are disturbing questions. First off, have you noticed the disparity between our clubs? For example, if the league ends today now, Remo Stars, Rivers United, and 3SC.
I think I lost.
Chia, can you hear me? Chia, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I lost you at the point.
Oh, okay. I was saying that have you noticed the disparity between the teams we produce as representative from the league to the continent? How far they've fared in the last 1 decade? What can be done to ensure that our clubs that represent us at the continental level are clubs that can beat our chest to say the Imbas of 2003, 2004, we still have them regenerated in the league. What can be done? Because in the last 2 decades, I mean, it's been terrible, and a lot of persons think that that alone brings down the image we are building in the league.
Yeah, you are quite correct. But let me tell you the reason for this. Like we talk about the Imbas of the world. At that time, football wasn't as commercialized as now. You see, then a lot of Nigerians stay within Nigeria and play football here. Other African countries don't have enough financial strength to attract players from Nigeria at that time. But now we now have some corporate bodies, even in Benin Republic here, buying the football club. In Tanzania, some corporate entities owning football club. Yeah, all right. Now they'll be able to pay bigger than what across the play in Nigeria. Then at the end of this team, our best leg run to even African countries, not even to Europe. Run to African countries for better pay. But now, the only solution to that is for us to have clubs who have investors that can show up their financial strength. Not everything about government. It will not pay us if you don't de-emphasize government ownership of football club. That's the truth. Because in Nigeria now, almost practically 18 out of the 20 clubs are owned by government, and sometimes the truth is that government business is nobody's business, and football is business. That is the truth. So we need to let our governors know that they need to look for partners. So they can own shares, but not to say wholeheartedly they own football club. So with that, they will be having a problem. At time, our players at best level will stay more in Nigeria. After that, could have the more money in the league, the more they earn, the more they want to stay. So then we can confront the rest of Africa and do well in CAF continental competitions. That's just the reason.
So from what you have said now is the reason why we do not do well is because of welfare packages for our players. We don't have the best leg in the league. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the boys are running to other countries, other clubs outside where they can get bigger pay. That's the truth. So that's why we need more money, more sponsors in the league, so that more money can go to the clubs, and the clubs again will be able to improve the way. When you feel that more money is in the system, and the clubs are getting more, they will be able to impose financial sanction on clubs, telling them this, you know, you can pay your players. But now we know what is going in is not good enough. Of course, we are still more interested in the welfare of the players, but again, there's a limit to which we can push it for now. We want more money in the system.
So invariably, how do we now encourage clubs or encourage privatization of clubs, as just like we have seen in the English Premier League and other European leagues, where we have more of private firms coming in to take over. I know of two clubs that partner strongly. So how do we encourage that? Because, for example, Remo Stars, I see what Kunle Tsunami is doing with Remo Stars, and they are doing well. Before now, we used to have Mountain of Fire as a miracle. So how do we encourage more private investors, knowing fully well that it is capital intensive to own a club side in the Nigerian top flight league?
Oh, thanks. First, that must be, the league must be credible. Credibility is key. If you want to invest in a system, you know that this system is credible, and you know that this system, there will be return on investment. So now we are able to achieve some level of credibility, and I think people are coming to discuss with us. More corporate bodies are showing interest. For instance, now we had a meeting with the IMG Group of London. They came to Nigeria recently, and in that meeting, the NNPC was involved. They have been able to see what we have done so far. Again, from next season, more investors will come. I'm very sure from next season, clubs will have more to support welfare of players. And I can assure you, at that time, players will stay more in Nigeria. You can see that this season, for the first time now, we qualified for the Shan Eagles. All right, it's a mark of improvement in the quality of players we have in the league. So, and we have been able to tell these guys, stop running to this and that country. I want to tell you of a player that I interviewed recently. He left Nigeria to play in a sister African country. He said his salary here, as that while they were being paid like 850,000 naira per month. I mean, a salary that they offered him 1.3 million, $1,300 in another country around the way. So he ran back after his sister. I said, why? He said that the money for my accommodation there is high. I was paying their currency. The food, money for food, I was paying their currency. So everything at the end of the month, my 850,000 is better than what I was being paid there because you live in a foreign land. And I said, okay, that's good. Now you are good, you are bad. So please tell your colleagues, not all foreign contracts are better than what you get here. So same guy is back, and now his salary has improved to increase by $1 million, and he's happy. So it's that situation.
Before we go on a short break, Chair, let's take a look at how much is the title fund from the board this season. How much are you giving to the winner of the MPFL?
Well, when we started, we said we'll be paying 100 million naira for winner. People were laughing. They said, hey, he money. So people are even trying to say we're telling lies. We played the pre-season tournament during the IMC days. We were able to pay winner of that tournament, which is Shooting Stars Ibadan. We organized tournament for clubs that won laurel for Nigeria before, continental laurel. It was to encourage them and create an elite group so that other club can just to get to that level. FAC won that tournament, we paid 100 million naira. Then people start having confidence. Oh, then they may be that serious. Then the first season was won by Enyimba, all right?
Yes.
After that, the next one won by Enyimba after that. Then we paid 100 million naira to Enyimba the third day. Last season was won by Rangers International. We said we're going to pay 150 million. We paid the 115 million again the third day. Now, this season, by God's grace, we will pay 200 million to the winner of the league. I will mean it.
That's massive, even if that is not compared to the expenditure or recurrent expenditures of clubs per season, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Okay, Chair, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we will have more conversation here. Don't go anywhere.
Every day, our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics.
Nobody's ambition is what
I have fought very firmly.
Natural occurrence, war.
All right, welcome back from that short break. If you're just joining us, this is the New Year edition of Sports Extraordinary here on Atlantic Television Network. And of course, we have a live chat with the chairman of the Nigeria Premier Football League, Honorable Benga Elegbeleye, one man who is a doyen and who, of course, understands what it means to lead the Nigerian Premier Football League. Cha, you're welcome back from that short break.
It's very simple.
All right, let's talk about, let's describe, talk about other areas of the league. You are the second vice president of the Nigerian Football Federation. How will you rate the partnership with the NFF and the NPFL board?
It's been very cordial, very fantastic. I'm going to tell you, let you know that the NFF has been a very, very supportive. I'm very, very supportive of the NPFL. You can see now we have communication guidance. You see our referees using communication guidance now in every match day. So instead of running to the sideline to ask AR1 or AR2 exactly what is happening here, he can communicate directly like you are seeing in advanced leagues. That is the job of the NFF. The NFF provided those communication guidance. And again, the improvement we are seeing in officiating, again, is partly the system of the NFF on quality characters, quality candidates to be selected as referees. Because they went through a lot of drilling, a lot of grillings, and interviews to get the best out. And again, one thing we can give to the NFF is that insistence on younger generation referees. Again, I must tell you that again, some have been selected to go for VAR training, in preparation for us to get into the level of using the video assistant referee in our matches. So far, so good. The NFL has been very, very fantastic, very cooperative, and quite a very rewarding relationship.
It's time now to take a look at what our viewers are saying, and let's take some of the questions that they are sending in from different platforms. One says, Mr. Chair, as a former Director General of the National Sports Commission, what's your take on the reinstatement of the Nigerian Sports Commission?
Well, let me tell you, the Sports Commission or Ministry or whatever, what more important is not change of nomenclature, but the seriousness of administrators to get it right. I will say, yes, it is nice. Now we have the National Sports Commission, and I will say, okay, good. For the first time now, we have sportsmen coming into the saddle, unlike before where you have those who are actually not in the sports industry being appointed. So I will say kudos to President Bola Tinubu for that initiative and for getting people with sports industry background into the saddle. And with that, I would say the NSC should be more of good tidings to the Nigerian sports industry. And again, looking at the recent budget presented by the President of the National Assembly, the sports industry has not been considered in terms of the volume or let me say, in terms of the budget allocation. I think it's going to be a better opportunity for Nigeria. It will be a better system for Nigeria with the current situation. That's my opinion. I'm very sure.
Of course, you're also very optimistic that this will trickle down to the affairs of the league, isn't it?
Yeah, because sports, ordinarily, the league we have never received money from government. I don't know in the past. The league don't get money. We have not been considered for, we don't get money from government, we're not receiving anything from government, not even a dime. But I think this system, probably like the facilities development, in the budget, I can see facilities development there. Again, and I'm sure, again, the Shanigu that just qualified for to represent Nigeria for the first time, I'm very sure that the NSC will be very supportive. I recently spoke to Malam Shehu Diko, and my discussion with him, we discussed the issue of support for the Shanigu, because he was quite optimistic that the NSC will give some support for preparation. And I think this, in terms of what the budget has to do, again, the issue of facilities, how some of our facilities can be supported in terms of improving this, what we have in the current stadium. We need to improve on it. A situation whereby we have only Uyo, where we play international matches in Nigeria. It doesn't stand well at all. So I'm sure this current NSC will be able to lift up facilities development.
Okay, Chair, from the 78 billion naira budget allocated for sports in this year, we're looking at what area will the league benefit. You mentioned infrastructure, facilities like stadium, but yeah. In terms of investment, in terms of allocation through the NFF, do you have a budgetary provision in this 78 billion naira?
I will say no, because we don't have any input when it was being prepared. Well, the National Sports Commission has the window of giving support to agencies, particularly the NFF, and through the NFF, the league can probably get some benefits. Yes, 78 billion, there we say is huge compared to when I was DG then. I think our budget that was 7 billion. Can you look at 78 billion to 7 billion? But at the same time, again, what happened that time? The scenario is not the same now. Cost of living wasn't as what it used to be then. Cost of equipment, cost of materials, not as what it used to be then. But I will say again, the current leadership of National Sports Commission will be magnanimous in supporting the NFF. And I'm sure since the NFF is always in tune with the league body, the NFF always want the best for the league. Naturally, it will have to trickle down to the league. But my major concern is not really getting cash coming to the league. Not really, but facilities. We have all this where we play our Premier League matches. Some of them are not just good enough at all. I will want improvement in that area. Again, I will want improvement in broadcasts. See, because when I want us to be more visible. So, and again, I think it is part of what the NSC have in mind in supporting, like in terms of what can come into the broadcast of the league. Again, I discussed it. The chairman of the NSC regarding, I remember what the kind of promise he gave about broadcast support, and I'm very sure it will happen. It will definitely be a plus for the league. That's my major concern. Broadcast want to be more visible, facilities, then again, welfare of the players. So if you have possibility to let the club have more, then you get the players to get more, and get the players to stay more in this country. That's my joy. No, not really saying give us a cash in the league. No. After that, these are the areas we want. More money for the clubs, facilities to be developed, and again, we want players' welfare is very paramount to us. The more money they have, the more they want to stay in Nigeria, the less they want to go to what I would describe as lesser countries to go and play football, or in the idea of looking for greener pastures.
Sure. Okay, let's hear from one again. Are they via the WhatsApp platform is saying that, Mr. Chair, yes, you have done so well, But what are the plans for consistency and sustainability?
Sorry, I lost the last one. Can you please repeat it?
Yeah, Ade is asking, what are the plans for consistency of the league? What we have seen now, can we look back 10 years from now and see the nature of what you've done in the league? And what about sustainability of some of the policies you and your board you have initiated?
Well, I would say the most important thing is to lay a foundation. And when you are no longer there, any sane person that is coming to take over the system, we know that you need to improve on the system. It's about laying foundation, and it's about doing well. When you lay a foundation of good results, and nobody will want to come and get his own name being on the other side of history by doing some things to crash the system. I believe it will be consistent in terms of development. If we, at our own level before we go, we are consistently developing the system, consistently show transparency, consistently showing seriousness, and again find more and more investors to come to the league. And what's more important, if the league is credible, investors will start coming. And I'm talking to you now, more are talking to us. We have 2 with us now, some are coming. Remember that even this last season, the Nigerian Bureaus came with what I can call players of the week or goal of the week or thereabout, trying to test run and see what is happening in the league. They didn't do that before. So I'm sure. Then again, we have some companies talking to us. We have 2 betting companies already met with us, but we feel what they are offering now is not good enough to say we can give them title sponsor. We believe the league is much bigger than that. So before we were not having them, now we are having them. And we are still having others who are talking to us. It shows we are getting more and more visible, and people are believing more and more in us. We discussed recently with a foreign company. We had a Zoom meeting with them on I think specifically Tuesday of last week. We had a meeting online, and they are interested again discussing other issues of coming to Nigeria. Like I told you earlier on, the IMG London came. They were in Nigeria with us. They met with us. They want to show interest. They are again coming back in January. In that meeting, NNPC was right there throughout our meetings. NNPC is quite interested in getting involved with the league. Again, kudos to our president through this initiative. We say Nigeria President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been showing interest in the local league development. So I would say kudos to him.
Lastly, before we go, just a quick one on this. A lot of fans, after the Rivers United Nasarawa game played in Lafia, a lot of people have been complaining that your board have not made a decision as regards that complaints coming from the Rivers United quarter. And the question is why?
Thank you. We don't just decide, we don't just come out with punishment or pronouncements or sanctions. We do thorough investigations. The match in question, we rely more on match commissioner's report. But the match between National United does not, the report of match commissioner does not indicate what is being propagated in social media. So we need to be circumspect. We need to get to the root of the matter. We have invited both teams for interview in Abuja. We are already calling the referees and all them for an inquest. So after this, we will decide on what to do. We cannot just decide based on social media allegations, complaints, and all the rest. We rely more on match commissioner's report.
Okay.
And the match commissioner's report does not tally with what we are reading. We have to call everybody for a roundtable meeting and say, look, we are reading this, then we saw this. Match commissioner, why don't you report this? What happened? Then during the course of the interview, we'll be able to know the truth. And the truth is what will guide us in taking decisions.
Okay. Lastly, sir, we've really had a very lengthy discussion here. What will you want to say to fans? This is the first day in the year 2025, and I'm sure you have something for Nigerian populace, the fans of the Nigeria Premier Football League.
Well, my message to the fans, first I must thank them for coming out now in large number to watch league matches. I must say Thank you to our football fans and football lovers in the country. And again, I must thank them again too, because the issue of violence is completely reduced. We don't have much of it again. It's like coming from ratio 90 to 10 in terms of how this has been reduced. I will say thanks to the fans. And my message again to them is that please believe more in the system, cooperate more, you will enjoy the league more. And we can assure you that the best is yet to come. We are just starting. We are going to get there.
Certainly the best is yet to come. We are just starting, and definitely we will get there. The last words of our chairman. Honorable, thank you so much for availing us your time to come, chat with us live on Atlantic Television Network.
Thank you. I'm grateful.
We have hopefully one of these days we'll meet in the stadium and I will do formal introduction. But for now, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Continue to enjoy the Yuletide period. Continue to enjoy the New Year. We wish you and your family all the best, and also the league family and the football family at large in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we've been having a wonderful time with the chairman of the Nigerian Premier Football League, Honorable Gbenga Legbeleye. One-on-one chat with him on a new year like this, and of course I'm sure you enjoyed all that we had. You can do it to follow us on all our social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook and X, and of course you can also watch us live. Subscribe and then follow us and get more of the conversation. Until we come away again tomorrow, continue to enjoy all the best here on Atlantic Television Network. My name is Ekpo Temple, and I'm saying Happy New Year and enjoy the best that the year we offer. Bye-bye.